So I want to give examples on how I am in a relationship. So you could have an understanding on how I think when it comes to being a partner. I once had a girlfriend, Ashley, about 16 or 17 years ago. And we were on the phone. She was venting about her day. Then she says, "Uh-oh, hold on." A few minutes later, she calls back crying. Her Bluetooth, not it wasn't Bluetooth then. It was a wired headset at that time. Um, she wasn't using it for some reason, and a cop saw her talking on her phone. Now, this is in California where that was implemented about that long ago. And so when she called me up just crying, I was like, babe, don't worry about it. I told her, don't worry about it. I'll take care of the ticket. It's probably just something like 80 or $100. And she's like, well, it's 60. He told me, I was like, okay, that's nothing. I'll take care of that for you. Um, let's go out this evening. Make sure that you have a nice dinner. Have a good time. You know, I'll give you the money to take care of the tickets before Cash App and PayPal and all that. And let's go get you something nice. And then she started crying more because she was just so happy to have me in her life. That relationship didn't work out because her mother was a drug addict and alcoholic and a very terrible person that was a man hater. So she just hated and very jealous of her daughter for having me as a boyfriend. Always told her daughter to leave me and go with like this poor drug addict guy with no job, and always trying to convince her to leave me. But at the end, I had to dump her because of personal reasons. Her mom had too much of an influence on her. But that's the way I am. That's the way I've always been in relationships. Um, if a girlfriend has a car, I've always maintained that vehicle, looked into everything, fixed everything for her. I mean, I just handle everything. And that's why with my ex-wife, I look at her and I think, wow, she was just crazy to treat me so poorly. Um, like even if she didn't love me and she hated me, you'd think that she would keep me around for the resources so she wouldn't have to worry about anything like any serious financial stuff. But a covert narcissist is not very smart. But that's how I am, and I'm not sure if I'm that way anymore after being in a relationship with such a dangerous person. I went into protection mode. I put myself into a place, or I didn't put myself into a place. I naturally got into this place where I was just making sure that I could minimize whatever harm she was going to inflict on me. But I like that person that I used to be. Now, I know that those type of guys, it's nice guy syndrome, and I know that those type of guys get targeted by narcissists. But I would really like to be that type of guy again and just know how to protect myself. But there's a lot of examples just like that. That was my ex-wife. That was her life. Her life was simply getting um, all of this stuff handled and taken care of all the time, not having a care in the world, not ever having anything to worry about. Everything was always resolved immediately. It's a shame it did not go to someone that was worth it, but I would like to find someone that is worth it. You see, the reason I'm bringing this up is I've seen a lot of beautiful women, especially up in Wisconsin where I'm headed now. There's such incredible physical beauty up there, along with personalities, like who they are, what they are, is a person you could just easily fall in love with. And I just finished a client in Illinois, and the woman behind the counter, I mean, I'm so exhausted and sleepy. I got no sleep last night, and I was so embarrassed. I could not speak properly in front of her. But she was signing my paperwork, and I was just looking at her, and I'm just thinking, this is one of the most lovely women. Beautiful, light eyes. And then like the blonde hair, like the bleach with the highlights. Oh my goodness, just in her facial structure. Oh my gosh. Everything. Oh, her smile and all that. And just, I'm a sucker for a killer smile, you know? I really am. But each time I see someone like that, I just think about how alone I am. And I need to remember, it's like, at 43 years old, it is best for me to stay alone. I'm a really close-knit family guy. I love family. And I have no family. I have no family, unfortunately. My friends are my family. Fast and Furious, how friends are family, that is so accurate. That is so true. Because being from California, that is how we are. And it's strange to leave that area and be in the Midwest where it just, I look at California and I look at the Fast and Furious movie and what was that other one? LA something. I think, wow, when I watched those movies, it was just nothing. Now that I'm out here, it's like that looks like a completely different type of world, you know? Yeah, I would like to be with someone again. Another issue is I've sustained a lot of damage, um, especially with my name being smeared by the government after tracking down bad guys, after I got my father-in-law put in prison for touching his um, stepdaughter, who was 13 at the time, I think. Um, that was just investigative skills. I just know how to profile a certain type of criminal. And yeah, once I put him away and I was looking into other people in the government who are very bad people, I mean, I got myself in a lot of trouble with the government. And because of that trouble, I don't think a woman would ever want to be with me. What you do doesn't matter. Right and wrong doesn't matter. And I've known this my whole life. And I've suffered with toxic shame of thinking I'm a bad person and everything just because. So, because of that, it's like, well, I'm going to be the best, most wonderful person I can in my life. I can be in my life and help as many people as I can before I die. And if I die a horrible, bad person for helping others, well, then that's just fine, baby. But I understand that it is. what people say about you that matters. It's what the government says about you that matters. Um, we know that the government is corrupt and liars, and they do a lot of illegal activity, and they go after a lot of innocent people. And despite that, we turn on people anyway when the news and media smears them, and when the government goes after them and whirly ball, eat, drink something. That looks like a fun place to go. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I guess part of me it's like, well, since I'm okay and prepared to spend the rest of my life alone anyway, I guess it's okay if a woman would never want me because of that. But I do wish that we lived in a world where who you are as a person mattered, that your actions mattered, that your behavior is what people would determine your character by. But that is not the way things are anymore. People like to team up together and attack others when they're an easy target. And it's like that today more than it ever was before. So, I guess I'll just always be alone. There's one place I avoid now. It's a pho restaurant in Fishers, Indiana. It's really good. And there's a waitress there, the most beautiful woman, beautiful pale white skin, and her hair, it's just so red. She's just so lovely. And I avoid the place because when I see her, it's like my heart, like my chest aches. That's another reason I avoid places, some places, you know what I mean? Sure is beautiful out here today. Really beautiful. I'm driving through Chicago. The clouds are just so pretty. The way they pick up the different type of light, you know. 43 Bravo, that's me. I should take the L train here sometime and just look at these museums and everything before I head back home to Cali. Really want to experience what Chicago has to offer, you know? That's all. I just thought I'd get on here and share my thoughts. Someday in the future, I'll look back at this day and hopefully I'll say something like, "Whew, man, I remember not being a millionaire. That sucked." Or something close to that.